This one is called Change. Water, the great mother, shows us how to transform. She holds her essence no matter what structure she takes. Whether cold as ice or exhaling great steam, in movement or stagnation, water remains true. In her sweet whisper echoes the gospel of how to nourish life, how to dance with it, make love with it, nurture it, help it grow. So much so that it nourishes you. Let her bathe us in understanding. Let us lie naked in her flow. Maybe then we'll remember, maybe then we'll be there enough to know. The slanted truth of our existence hidden deep within our bones. The self is as malleable as water. Choose who you are every day. And this holds the truth of who you are. I wrote this one last year in Italy and I missed that time a lot. Think about it a lot. It was a beautiful time. But maybe I didn't write it then. Maybe I just edited it then. I don't know. Because that was also when I put my book together. Yet to be published. But I just have so many ideas which one to jump on first. But anyways, it's interesting that I wrote it then because that was right after the first eclipses in the lunar nodes. Then that was like the last time the nodes changed. And it was a very significant time in my life because I don't remember if the eclipse happened during spirit school or right before, but I went to spirit school last year at the last week of April, and it was right around eclipse season. And then I go and walk across Corfu, halfway across Corfu in Greece, and then I go to Italy and work at a pilgrim hostel. And it was just, the spirit school was, I feel like it kind of started this chapter that I'm on now. And it's funny because last year was a 9 cycle for me. I know I've already mentioned this somewhere. But it was a 9 cycle for me. And so many things were endings, but also so many things were beginning. And that felt like a brand new chapter. And being at the hostel and walking the trail was kind of like, okay, the beginning of settling into the idea of which direction that I was focusing on, focusing less on spending my energy on things that don't fulfill me, focusing more on what gives me life and what I know the direction I want to go in is. Like, I love the boat, but I knew it wasn't my long-term thing. I want to have more of a job or like an income because of what I give inherently, not kind of like finding it. Like, it's good to be of service in any sense. Like, it's good to give to the community and give back and feel like you have a purpose. But I just feel like being on the boat, like, that wasn't necessarily my true purpose. Like, I mean, obviously it wasn't my true purpose. All of my coworkers would agree for any of us. Because no one's sole purpose is a job. Maybe a job can help you fulfill your larger life purpose, but no job is going to be a sole purpose. Anyways. Yeah, I always said that I was the manager of the soft skills because, like, what I'm good at is so much more like just, sitting and having a chat and like figuring out whatever's on your mind and contemplating things and pondering. I love pondering. And I think I'm quite good at pondering in tandem with other people. and just like talking through life stuff and finding the deeper meaning in it all, because I love swimming. And I found this poem because I was thinking about what I should do, because I'm just, aimless at my mom's house. Aimless near Austin. And thinking about what to do. And I want to go and buy a new bike seat or a bike cover, like bike seat cover, because riding my bike last time really, really hurt. I have to ride my bike to do that, and then also to go inside to buy the seat cover, I would have to leave it outside, and I would need a lock in order to do that. And I also don't have a lock. And also both of those things would cost a good amount of money, which I need them. So maybe I should do that. But my pelvic floor still really hurts from the last time I rode my bike. So I'm hesitant. And so then I was going down the list of all my assigned activities for this slow period at my mom's house. And one of them, I'm going to work on a clip. I just did some tattoos yesterday. And also, obviously, I'm structuring my life more to have this involved in it, the podcast, speaking. So I've been thinking about, and so now I'm like doing this, and so then it's like, oh, what have you been thinking about lately? What could we talk about? And then I've been thinking about structure a lot, and like the balance of masculine and feminine, and how I'm trying to provide a structure for myself, because before I've relied on outside environments to provide structure for me, but now I want to be responsible for myself. I don't want to work in fear anymore. So then I looked up on my writing folder in my notes app, of course, because I am a millennial, I think. And I found this poem, and I feel like it makes sense. If in the least I didn't write it then, then that I edited it then, or I touched on it. Because like starting to think about this, like putting together my book and spending time on my work intentionally, and not just having it be something that's a quick rushed hobby, or like I have 2 seconds to do this in between the things I get paid for and stuff like that. Just actually dedicating time and respect, honestly. I mean, just like attention to what I want to do, and how I want to spend my time. And now I'm essentially doing that again at my mom's, which Italy was slightly more fun because I had a lover there. But anyways, structure. Because you need to have structure in order to explore safely. Like, I have safety in myself now because I've shown that I can take care of myself, and I can catch myself when I fall. We make so many decisions based on fear, like whether we're conscious of it or not. And I've been listening to We Can Do Hard Things by Glennon Doyle, my emotional support podcast. They were just talking about how when people create and adhere to cultures with such rigid structure, like certain religions or anything with a strong structure, those are people that are scared of themselves. It doesn't have to be like you're scared of what you might do. It could also just be like you know yourself. And so now I can provide this structure for myself, whereas before I didn't trust myself, and so I relied on outside systems. And this reminds me of how a lot of it's true what they say about sailors being alcoholics. There are a lot of people that use the boat to kind of like keep themselves in check, which is a good, like, this is not a bad thing to do. It's just an interesting difference. None of this is good or bad. I feel comfortable enough, like with enough clarity of what I want or the direction that I'm going in, because I don't really have a set goal sort of what I want. Like, I just know what kind of vibe I want to exist in. But I have enough clarity on that to move forward in the direction without as many immaterial and reality safety nets, because I trust myself to be able to catch myself, and I also have humongous faith in, whatever you call the higher power. And I know I'll be okay either way. Like, it's every time I've jumped, it's caught me. Like when I was moving to New York and I went to Hawaii with one of my good friends, one of my dear friends, and we had to catch a bus to the airplane, and they only took cash because it was one of the smaller islands, and we needed, I think, $4, and we had $2 in cash. My friend had $1 in quarters, and for the last dollar, all of the coins in my little coin purse, including pennies, turned out to be $1. And it's just like when little things like that, like, just work out when you kind of least expect it, but when you most need it. I've had a lot of those, and so, yeah, I know it'll all work out in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. This is fun. So in thinking about how I want to have more structure in my life and how I kind of came about, or like one of the ideas that led me here to finally feeling like I'm able to do it, is giving what I enjoy enough validity that it feels like it's in higher purpose to something else. Like, I did exercise, and I've done a lot of dancing and like fun, like intentional dancing. And this is kind of the way I always spend time at my mom's house, just like sitting around thinking. But now I'm giving it a purpose. Like, I have something to channel it into. And so now this time also being home, like, I don't know how long I've been home, but I mean, I guess I got home the 23rd, and it's now the 16th. So almost like 3 weeks. Yeah. Whew. And usually I start to feel pretty bad when I'm home for a while. But I feel like I've been able to level it better this time because, like, I have goals and I have missions. Not things that are like things to accomplish, but things I'm interested in and feel like ignited by, and that can like fill my time with purpose and energy and everything like that. And I feel like I'm moving towards something, like I just have so much more direction now, and so now I kind of know what I want the structure to look like. Ooh, that makes sense. And when I feel like, because I have so much more clarity about who I am and what I want, oh, that's nice. That feels good to say. I heard someone say recently that you want to have clarity, not confidence, because if you think of like if you think about the difference of those two, moving around in a room that you're unfamiliar with the lights off, with confidence, you'll just move right in and not think about like what's going to be in your way or what's on the floor. But with clarity, you'll think to turn the lights on. And turning the lights on is like the feeling of clarity. Like, I heard someone else say that enlightenment tastes like freedom. And I think of that with honesty as well. Even if it's terrifying, like, which answer tastes the most like freedom? Because I have kind of avoided creating my own structure. I've avoided taking responsibility for my environment, my experience, in a sense, by being in environments that have the structure already built in. Most of my jobs have been in like very enclosed experiences, like summer camp. I worked at a summer camp for 5 years. That had a structure, and then working on the cruise ship for the last 5 years, like 2 very enclosed experiences with like definitive walls of the world. Like there's at camp and there's in the town or like there's on the boat or off the boat. The boat even more so because it has like the hierarchy of like the bosses and the captains and the mates and everything. And thinking about how I've kind of used that as a way to have structure and routine in my life, but now, and also like have rules, like they, like you can't have more than 2 drinks while on the boat, while you're at work, so like even if you get off the boat. And I've never had to really take responsibility or take ownership, take action, take initiative over my space. I've always just kind of had this existing structure and then found a way to work within it. And I enjoyed doing that. It feels kind of like cheating the system, and I love bending rules. I don't know how, like, some people might say I break them, but maybe I will find another structure through this practice, another environment that is structured that like helps me have my own structure or like fills the time in between. But I just feel so much more called to having my own structure, my own ideas. And like what that means is like how I want to eat. It's like not keeping sweets in the house because you know you'll just eat them if they're around, which is now why I have to not work in the kitchen. And so just making small adjustments like that, like another way that I could solve or like come to this issue of my like lack of structure with eating because I binge eat is that at work, on the boat, I don't have much time to eat. And so, especially on night shift, I know I have much more balanced eating practices on night shift because I'm not around everybody else. And so it's not just habitual eating. And that's good for me. And I also have that for travel. It's good that way. But how I want to communicate, the relationships I want to have, how I want to be treated in my relationships, everything like that, like having a structure that I respect and that respects me and takes care of me rather than just kind of like taking what I'm given. And obviously being open to miracles is what allows them to happen. But I feel like through a lot of my life, I have made myself small in the practice of taking what's been given to me. Like, this is all that I'm allowed. Because I've been so out of touch with my masculine side, I haven't really protected my feminine side or like built the structure for it to thrive in. And so I've never spoken up about my needs or like how I want things to go, or like it's hard for me to like talk about my feelings if it seems like they're different from the other person unless it's like a well-established relationship. And I know that's hard for everybody. I'm not saying this is a special struggle. Yeah, like I want more structure and I'm trying to find the routine to build it. And I think about how I was just talking with one of my friends about how I'm wanting to create more structure in my life, my own structure, and have that responsibility, like take that responsibility for my life, like for the way I want to live and for the way I want to be and who I want to be around and everything like that. And just take more responsibility for the kind of experiences I want to have. Part of that is like I don't know, I just feel like I can take a lot more ownership over my life because I don't feel scared anymore. Or like I don't feel as scared. Like I've done a lot of insane things that I've proved to myself kind of over and over again that I can do it and I can handle it. And it doesn't mean I should always have to, which is also part of like that now I feel like I have the knowledge and the capability to like start refining and like knowing what I want to do and which directions I want to go in. And that has to do with even the smallest things of like I've been doing Pilates more and it feels really good. And I've been like trying to practice more balanced eating habits because I've had a lot of trouble with binging in my life. But this is just my journey. People want different things. Like I think about some people who are like finance bros and like, you know, fully passionate about it and like feel fulfilled by doing that, by like making money or like taking meetings in a suit. That's crazy. Or like my friend that works at Microsoft. I love that he works there. Yeah, everybody's got their own path. I mean, the dream is that you can be the same in any environment and like consistently yourself and be devoid of temptation and desire and everything like that. Actually, no, that sounds pretty boring, but yeah, that's a good reframe. How interesting is it to work through all of the things we experience in a life, to understand the experience? I mean, really though, like they say, I don't remember where this is from, but like they say that gods are envious of humans because we get to experience it all again. How beautiful, how amazing that we get to have these things that disrupt us. Oh, I love thinking about this stuff. Okay, I don't know how many times I said structure in that last episode, but just know that I listened to it way more times than you did, and so I heard structure so many times. And let me say it again, structure. But thank you for listening. I hope you're still enjoying being on this journey with me. I'm sticking to the 2-week bi-weekly schedule. And I also offer tarot card readings. I'm making collages to sell, little PDFs to do what you wish with that will all have a certain vibe and a theme. And I'm really excited about this. And all of these are listed links to purchase or reserve any tarot card readings or collages are available on my Instagram, Abby Mermaid, spelled with an E. Please remember also, if you are enjoying being on this journey with me, to follow the podcast, because then it's like you're getting a voice memo from your friend every 2 weeks, just personally delivered to your Spotify account. Just for you, baby. I hope you are having a beautiful time wherever you are, and I hope you have sweet dreams. Dulces sueños, sonidoro. I don't remember anymore. Good night.